Hello, this is Gorillas Freak 25, and today is Tuesday, January 17th, 2017. Today's video is going to be my thoughts about the NFL Divisional Round playoffs over this preceding weekend. And in case you're wondering why I didn't make this video yesterday, is because I wanted to make a video in honor of the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. Well, this weekend definitely spiced up the playoffs. And the first day, Saturday, was exactly how I expected to be. I expected both games to be somewhat lopsided, and I knew the teams would win that I predicted to win. The Falcons took care of the Seahawks in a pretty good lopsided match. And I just figured, Matt Ryan giving MVP performance again. The fact that it was in Atlanta, so that wasn't in any way, shape, or form a surprise. I mean, anyone who didn't see that one coming has been living under a rock. And then whoever didn't see the Patriots taking out the Texans was living in under an even bigger rock. I'm sorry. But I will say one thing about that Patriots-Texans game. Yes, it ended up being a complete washout by the Patriots, but I'll say two things. One, the Texans proved that having the number one defense can definitely cause a threat because they were keeping up with the Patriots through the third quarter. And number two, Tom Brady threw 2 interceptions in one game. That's not Tom Brady-like at all. I mean, that's not even like slightly above quarterback-like. I mean, now granted, this is the Texans with the best defense, which includes, I think, the best pass defense as well. One of the best running defenses, which means we're a number one overall. But anyway, my point being is if the Patriots want to beat the roaring Steelers, who are kind of having a fluky year, they're going to have to step it up next week, which I'll get into that later. So haven't got to the Steelers yet. But anyway, the Patriots, yeah, they beat the worst playoff team in a blowout, but it's the worst playoff team, and many would argue they really shouldn't have even been there, and they only won a division because their division was absurdly easy. So, it's really not saying too much. Now, Sunday. Sunday is the day where, one, we finally had unexpected results. I mean, the first, essentially, 6 games were completely predictable. And two, were exciting close matchups. The first game we saw, and I knew this would be game of the year too, the Cowboys and Packers and Dallas. It was a seesaw affair. There was running and passing on the Cowboys ends between the rookies, Elliott and Prescott, respectively. And on the Green Bay end, they didn't use running as much as expected, but the Packers used Aaron Rodgers and what they wanted to turn into a shootout. And, the Packers ended up holding them off at the end there. It was tied up, and 2 last-minute 50-plus yard field goals by their kicker, and they edge out a win against the Cowboys. And, it just goes to show the Packers can just do just about anything. I mean, halfway through the season, people thought they weren't even going to make the playoffs, and here they are going to an NFC championship round, riding an 8-game winning streak. The Cowboys, it's the same story. It seems like they have a promising year in the season, and then somehow they choke in the playoffs. But look at it this way. The Cowboys were expected to go 4-12, 5-11, because they had a rookie starting quarterback and a rookie starting running back, and they still did that good. So kudos to them, even though I don't really like them, but, heck, they pulled off an unexpected thing there. But, only Aaron Rodgers does a last, in the 20 seconds of the game, big, 60-yard bomb down the field on the sidelines, runs out of bounds, and then the guy does, and then they kick a, 51-yard field goal to win the game. And that's how the Packers are. They know how to pull it off. And then came the Chiefs and the Steelers game in Kansas City, Missouri. The game was originally scheduled for 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time, but it was pushed up to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time due to an ice storm on Saturday night and Sunday morning in Kansas City. This game infuriated me, not just because the Steelers are my second worst team as a Bengals fan, but it's the fact that the Steelers beat the Chiefs the same way they beat the Bengals. 6 field goals, not one touchdown. The Chiefs did exactly what the Bengals did earlier in the year against the Steelers, scored 2 touchdowns, but it just wasn't enough. And the referees that game, as expected, favored the Steelers. They didn't call hardly anything on them, including that 2-point conversion that was taken back from the Chiefs. But then, no, they didn't call the holding during the attempt after the Chiefs basically lost the game. So, it's just that same old crap. I personally think, what's going to happen next week is I think the Falcons got the edge on the Packers. I mean, they're playing in Atlanta again. I know the Packers are the Packers. I know how they are. They've been doubted now for about 5-6 straight weeks. People have doubted them, but the Falcons really look tough. It's going to be a shootout. Neither team has defensive Falcons or Packers, but they both have a hell of a quarterback. And as far as the AFC games, I think the Patriots are going to wipe the floor with the Steelers. They are the ultimate fluke team. I'm not just saying that because I don't like the Steelers. Anybody who knows a lot about football knows they really shouldn't be there. I mean, people might say that about the Falcons or the Packers, but you can really say that about the Steelers. I mean, good luck kicking field goals and winning a game because you're going to need at least about, I'd say, 8 of them to even get a high enough score to surpass Tom Brady because I don't see Tom Brady having 2 off games in a row. With that being said, I will be rooting for the Steelers as a lesser of the evils because the Patriots are my number 1 worst team in football, due mainly to their cheating scandals. So tell me what you think. I think it should be a pretty exciting AFC-NFC championship round, and that's it. Thanks.